Hi, I'm Christopher Martini with Voss Solutions, and I wanted to talk to you for a few minutes today about some exciting evolution that's going on in the world of UC analytics. You know, if you've been in this space for as long as I have, I'm sure that you've seen the evolution over time. In those early days when the services themselves were brand new and Microsoft was going through their evolution from OC to Lync to a newer version of Lync to Skype for Business to Teams, and Cisco is moving from a primarily on-prem model to a cloud-based model, and Zoom at the time was an outlier, certainly in the enterprise space. Obviously, all of that changed during COVID. In those early days, we were really focused on call quality, MOS scores, number of calls dropped. That was partly because the tools and the data sets that we were dealing with were limited. But also because there was a confidence issue with the services themselves, right? Were they ready for prime time, especially for organizations that were moving away from a legacy PBX? Over time, a majority of those implementations have become more rock solid, the services themselves more battle tested. And the analytics, the UC analytics call quality story and call quality dashboards has a role. But if that's all an organization is leveraging their UC data for, they're really leaving a majority of the value still on the table. Over the last several months, some of the most exciting conversations that we've had with customers have really moved outside of the service delivery and IT realm and more into the business value, business intelligence type discussions. And it's when you can effectively marry the important data points from your UC fingerprint to those external services, those external data sets, where you can really start to drive insight. I'll give you a couple of quick examples. If you're a large organization thinking about a return to work policy or trying to govern an existing return to work policy, how do you measure your success? Certainly there are employee tools and employee surveys that you can leverage, and we encourage you to do those things. But if you're not taking that UC fingerprint and starting to marry it to other systems like building management systems, who's actually coming and going into those training rooms? If we see that the training room is booked 80% of the time, does that really mean that a training room is required 80% of the time? Or a majority of those people attending those trainings and those meetings remotely? If you're a large global enterprise and you made assumptions and commitments about your commercial real estate footprint pre-COVID, and now you're trying to determine whether or not those assumptions match where your business is today in the real world, marrying UC data with the traffic from those actual offices, right? Getting an understanding of the office itself was spec'd for 600 people, but over the last 90 days, we've really only seen about 400 people coming into that office. You can start to make some interesting assumptions about where you need to be in the future, right, from a floor space standpoint. If you are an organization that has a number of different departments and you're making assumptions about which of those departments are collaborating most intensely, you might think that that's sales and marketing, naturally. But when you actually look at the data, you find that it's your sales team and your customer success team that have the need to collaborate most, and you have them in different offices, right, on different campuses, whatever that decision is. You can really start to drive those insights if you have a modern analytics tool that's looking at not just the UC fingerprint, but marrying that data to other sources. For us, it's been a great opportunity to have conversations outside of IT, right? Oftentimes with line of business managers and CFOs who say, we know that there's value in that data. Getting that value out of the data is the area where we're struggling. Voss Solutions can certainly help, right? If you're tired of looking at data and you'd like to start looking at insights, reach out to us. Send us an email. If you look at some of the things that we're covering in social media lately, there's a lot around cost analytics. We're already having the discussion with customers, and we would love to have that discussion with you. Again, Christopher Martini with Voss Solutions. I appreciate you taking the time.